Hey guys, so next up on my cardboard camper build is that I need to find a way where I could sleep right here in this area right here and make a cardboard bed. And I tested my cardboard counters laying on top of it, and it did hold my weight, but that's not a sustained use model. So I need to design a cardboard solution for my bed that's going to allow me to sit down on it and roll around and not fall apart. So that's my next challenge. I'm going to take out this bed and try to build a cardboard. Okay, so let me show you what I have in mind. So I got a bunch of these boxes at my work. They're just discarded cardboard boxes. But what I want to do, I want to use these as storage underneath the bed, and that storage will also be support for the bed. So I need a way to make these boxes stronger, reinforce them so that I could use them uh, as a frame, basically a frame and storage for my bed, my cardboard bed. First, I gotta take this bed out. Of course, there's always a hiccup. I forgot that I put all this storage underneath those things, underneath my bed for a little bit of extra storage. So now I have to fill up these storage holes so that I could put in the new bed. Okay, so here's the plan. I have all these boxes and I'm going to line them up as the base. And for each of the individual boxes, what I'm going to do is for better structure, I'm going to fold the flaps down like this. It's just like these, but with the flaps folded down. So that's going to make the walls a little bit more strong. And in addition to that, I need to fortify these walls. And I have an idea for that too. But again, the key is all these walls to all these boxes being strong enough to hold my weight, and even in the middle. So if I sit right here in this spot, am I just gonna fall through? So that's my challenge. Okay, so for these boxes, I mean, I could definitely epoxy every single one of them and it's gonna be stronger, no doubt about it, but there's no way I'm going to epoxy 6 of these things. Heck no, I don't got that kind of patience. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use these wood sticks, mixing sticks that you get free at the Home Depot. It's just paint mixing sticks, and these are a foot. And oddly enough, about half of these things, if I cut them in half, it's probably going to fit inside this wall pretty well. So if I put it right here, you can see it measures 6 inches on that little measuring thing. But I'm going to cut these in half and put them here and here as extra support. And remember, I said no sawing in this build, and even a handsaw. Come on, guys, you gotta let me use a handsaw. Fine, I said no sawing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use this uh, cutter, metal sheet cutter, and I'm gonna cut the wood. All right, here we go. See, no sawing. So I'm gonna put these in here, and that's gonna give it a little bit of extra support. So I'm gonna um, get enough of these so that I could put in a couple extra wall supports for everything and then glue it in. Alright, let's give this a shot. And let's see, fold that in. And then I'm also going to glue down these seams. Heck, probably should have done that first. You use a lot of glue doing this technique, more than you think. Alright, so for these sides, same thing. I'm gonna try to save some glue sticks and maybe just put one stick per side. I save these mixing sticks. Oh, don't accidentally unplug this because it'll stop coming out. One last one. Okay, so last up, I'm gonna just put a little bit of glue on these seams just to help them hold their position so they don't want to flip out or anything like that. Alright, and I'm gonna do it to all the boxes. Okay, so for this next box, I want to try using wood glue. You can use wood glue or white glue, and this type of glue is water resistant, and it's stronger than using the glue gun. You can see this is a softer glue, even when it's in its hardest form. It's soft. So if you could get away with using this glue, it will hold better. That's my experience, my limited experience with cardboard building, but in glue in general, this is a better glue. The drawback is that you can't glue it, hold it, and then it keeps its shape. That's just not going to happen. This is going to need to dry. But in this scenario, I think I have enough time to let it dry and the glue won't, just drip out all over the place. So let's give that a shot. And if it works, it'll be a better glue. So we'll just put that there. Move this around. So of course it's not going to dry in time, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it in and I'm going to fold it in, and then I'm going to use the glue gun to hold it down. So basically I'm using both. I'm going to use the glue gun to help it keep its shape, and then use the other glue to dry overnight into something harder and stronger. Alright, so I have that glue in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the hot gun on the seams to hold it down tight, to hold its position. And hopefully then we'll have the best of both worlds.
Hi, Dad. How you doing? This is your camera. I'm using it. Look, I'm eating. For whenever you see this, if you ever do. Yeah, that's it. Bye.
For a few of these boxes, I got some of these corner cardboard things left, and they actually worked great on the counter. So what I'm going to do for a couple of the boxes, and it's more just to see which solution works better. I'm going to fold the sidewalls in just like the previous one. But instead of using the paint sticks and putting it on the inside, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on the corner like this and glue it in. So I'm going to just measure, cut them down, and then put them on all the four corners. I forgot to turn on my mic again, so I'm going to do a voiceover. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hot glue the sides because it dries a lot faster than the white glue or wood glue. But I'm going to hot glue the sides and fold it down, and then from there I'm going to be able to uh, get the sides strong, and then I'm going to do the corners. And same thing, I'm going to hot glue the corners, and then I'm going to put these things in and then hold them tight until the glue dries. Well, I'm not lucky enough that four of these things cut up perfectly into four pieces that fit perfect on this thing. But anyways, I'm going to glue the edges of all these corner supports to give them a little bit more structure so that they'll stick to the corners better. All right, all done. I got two of these boxes with these corner supports in. And what I want to do is for this last box, I'm going to try something a little bit different. So I'm going to have even a third type of bed support using these boxes. Okay, so for this last box, I got two paint sticks left, and I can't do the 2 2 2 2 because I only have four pieces. But what I'm going to do with these last paint sticks is that I'm gonna put them on the corner only like this, and we'll see how that goes. And I think it actually will be strong enough, and it might be even a better system than having it right here because it's on the corner. But we'll give that a shot for this last box. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it like that. Get that guy in there. It's already drying up. Okay. Okay. Just for a little bit of extra reinforcement. Alright, so that's the last box. So we got three different styles. Alright, that's the base of my bed. You can see all five cardboard boxes. So those two down there are the ones with these corners. This one is the one with just the stick inside the corner, the mixing stick. And these last two are the ones with the mixing stick here, here, and here. I think they'll all work fine. Just using what I got and using different techniques. So now I need to build the top and put a mattress on. Okay, so for the top of the bed, I have this thing right here. It's just a lid to a big box that I got from work again. And what I'm going and I have a few of these. I'm going to have to mend them together. And what I have is this exercise mat. I actually used this on a few of my camper builds in the past, and I put a little bit of foam inside of it also just to give it a little bit extra softness. But I'm going to cut these tops down and fit this inside of it like this. So this I would need to cut and bring it over, fit it inside of this, and this will be the top of my bed frame that I'm going to use, and this will be the mattress. Alright, you could see that it doesn't really fit properly, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it right down the middle, and then I'm going to be able to slide this thing into the shape. And I want the cardboard to actually overlap on the inside to give it a little bit of extra strength, and then I'm going to reinforce that platform later. So I got a few of these boards, and I'm going to line them up so that they all fit. Of course, the fit is not perfect, but what can you expect? We will make do. Alright, so I cut down the walls in the middle. Now I'm going to measure it. So I'm going to need something like that. Just a little bit of overlap right here. And then I'm going to cut down the middle part of this, and slide it in. Okay, so I just cut these pieces in half so I could slide them in according to the size I need. And now should be able to mock this up nicely. Like that. So this is the way it's going to fit, and then I'm going to build everything around this, put everything together, and then reinforce the bottom, of course. Alright, so now it's fitted. I'm going to tape everything together and then reinforce it. Okay, so I got packaging tape all around to hold the shape of what I want right now. And then now I'm going to start putting extra layers on the bottom to strengthen it up, and then I could epoxy it after that. Okay, so now that I built out the frame and I evened it out with that little piece that I put there, and I did the same for the bottom side because there's the fold on the bottom side too. So now it's nice and even. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these big pieces right here, and I'm going to cut them up, and then I'm going to take them over here and glue them and line and reinforce the bottom of this guy, and a layer on the bottom on the other side too. I'll probably do 2 layers on this top side and 1 layer on the bottom side. Okay, so now the bottom's nice and flat. So I'll do the same thing to this top side and add probably 2 layers. Alright, so here's another example of me using what I got. So I have the layers of cardboard on, and I need to let the glue set evenly. So I got all this junk on top of it and some boards underneath to try to make things as even as possible. So now I'm going to let the glue dry, and then we'll look at the epoxy another day. Alright, I let the glue dry overnight. Now I got to remove everything. Alright, let's take a look. Seems pretty nice and firm. So what I want to do now is I want to epoxy. I want to epoxy the bottom side and the sides, and then tomorrow we'll let it dry, and then tomorrow we'll epoxy the inside. I know you should really measure it, but I'm just going to line them up next to each other, and that's how I've been measuring. And if they line up, you know you have equal amounts. Remember, you got to mix it super well. When you think you mix it well enough, mix it some more. I think that's it. It's a smoother coating than I've put on in the past. But let it dry up, flip it over, and then we'll do the inside tomorrow. Alright, so I am getting better at laying down the epoxy more even, But another thing I learned is that epoxy does not go on packaging tape too well. You could see the drip marks. It looks like it's wet. It's not. It's just have the drip marks that it just couldn't adhere to anything. It needs something to grip onto. But that's no big deal. The main thing is that the wood or the cardboard has some extra strength added through the epoxy. So now I'm going to flip it over and do the inside. Alright, so I got that coat of epoxy on the top and it's dry now. And I didn't do it as thick as the bottom because I just didn't measure right and I didn't want to measure anymore. But it's good to go. And one thing that I noticed is that now this thing is actually pretty darn heavy. I mean, it's not heavy, but it's heavy with the epoxy and all the cardboard I have. This is super sturdy now. So let's install it. Alright, so it's going to sit in here like that. Seems to fit pretty nicely. Let's take an initial test. Okay. Holding my weight up for now. But it'll get a little bit more support because I'll put another cardboard liner on top of this one. And when the mattress is on, it'll help even distribute the weight a little bit better. Alright, so I had a couple extra pieces of cardboard, so why not use it? Alright, let's put it in the mattress. Alright, fits like a glove. Now remember, this mattress is an exercise mat basically that I actually stuffed with a little bit more foam to make it a little bit softer. But I'll leave a link in the description for you. And I've used it on a number of builds before. It's 24 inches wide by 6 feet long, if I remember right. But for someone my size, it actually will fit. So let's give it a shot. Oh, fits like a glove for me. And the nice thing is that I don't hear the cardboards having a hard time. I'm moving up and down. And remember, I used a couple of different techniques in these cardboard boxes underneath. Some with the painting sticks and others with just the cardboard edges and things like that. And some with the painting sticks just on the corners. But, I think they all seem to be holding up okay. So the nice thing about these cardboard support is that, in addition, they are also storage for you. So if you want to grab something for storage, from storage, these boxes, that's what they're there for. Now when I cleaned out this thing, I left a big fat mess in my front seat just to clear up some space. But now I could just put it in there. I could shove it underneath. And hopefully the bed is strong enough. And it is. Again, I'm 170 pounds. And it is holding, so that's fantastic. Alright, let's take a closer look now at the bed. Fits pretty flat, pretty even with the edges, so that actually worked out well. Coming down there, and if you want to put handles on these cardboard boxes, you can put some handles on them too. That'll work. The mattress, that's how it looks over here. Actually, I think it's all right. So this is the last part of my cardboard build. So next video, we'll give you a tour and all the things I made out of cardboard for this cardboard camper.